Vessel. Adhara. The mother's power and not any human endeavor and tapasya can alone rend the lid and tear the covering and shape the vessel and bring down into this world Matka. Jomon, Harappan and Shandong potters plotted the millennial revolution of culture, and meeting with a Cretan they fostered and festered and fermented into a fine wine in an amphora-shaped odalisque in Paris, attended to by Africans who drank freely of it, shape-shifting colonial fantasies transformed in the blood vessels for the enjoyment of subalterns. Lotus in the golden pond of Amitabha, Tawaraya Sotatsu Satori, freedom and power of a plane of existence. A plane of existence is a creative construction on a plane of immanence. In other words, exploiting conditions of radical infinity, how to build a perpetual motion machine or other image of time or eternal event, a yantra or conceptual diagram engine, drawing the chaos around it into cosmos with self-renewing capacities, whether it be by replication, reduplication or reincarnation, by compulsion or by choice. The condition of a material immortality is to be reborn perpetually in time, exploring the creativity of difference through bounded infinities. The deists said God gave man reason so he could complete the work of God, to build a perfect world. The alternative discourse, carried out by romantics and bohemians, whether on the left bank of the Seine among Boston Brahmins, in coffee shops in Ueno in the late 19th century, or in the black town of Calcutta in country liquor dens in hash addas, said God gave to man not only reason itself an inferior power, but substance of his, her, its, their own heart, creativity. Ramakrishna was the avatar of the protean creativity of the psychic, said Nolini. The psychic itself, the individualization of the Ananda plane, and thus the avatar of the evolving person, never single, always singular, and virtually infinite, manifesting one of a bounded infinity of psychic qualities, though each is latent with radical infinity, here protean creativity. Thus Ramakrishna, an avatar of the archetypal shaman shapeshifter, putting on whatever body of qualities it desired, to make love with the one and know it for itself and know it as oneself. With each body of qualities, each vessel, came its world, object of the subject, between the two a plane of windows. Windows are phenomenological and ontological interpretations belonging to a cognition plane, akasha, vyoman, scattered frame rays of the gnosis, each as reality as idea, hence real idea. Catching one or making oneself its bait is the yoga of intuition. A plane of windows participates in structured variety, a number system of variants. There is always the middle path, and there is always the other side, the dark side of the moon, where Picasso reached out blind for violence, firm but pulpy, but was secretly in search for just a spoonful of silence, well-wrought urn. Fashion designers in Paris and Milan search for the Holy Grail, the hip chick gait of walking mannequins, vessels shaping silence. Eames blew his mind on it, Lota. Subodh Gupta obsessed on it for its transforming power of the everyday. its visuality of the anima, receptacle, seed box. What's inside it? It's not for you, dummy, it's for Anish Kapoor to problematize the anxiety of hollows, insides from the outside or vice versa, inside out, outside in, Garbha. Garbhagriha, womb house, inside of the vagina of time impregnated by time's trident, a sign of triplicity constituting the vertical plane axis mundi, climbed by 3 rungs, image of time, constituted by 2 halves, side by side in different dimensions, linga and yoni, bija and yoni, linga transforms to bija, bija evolves to linga, punarjanma, a perpetual motion machine in the plane of immanence. Shiva is linga yoni, Buddha bija yoni mandala, identity of Vajradhatu and Garbhadhatu mandalas. The jewel is in the lotus. The lotus occupies a 3rd dimension on the plane of composition that includes the 2 dimensions of linga yoni ontology. Padma, foot measurer, provider of strata for the being to inhabit, seat first of Lakshmi, who was born of the lotus, Padmini, Padmaja, seat of Vishnu's feet, seat of Buddha, seat of Bhumi, earth, goddess of becoming. When the boar raised her from the sea and seated her on his shoulder, but born under water in the land where the Naga brothers rule, and travelled through the gradations of consciousness, processes its celestial beauty to laugh surcharged with bliss in a golden ocean. Ghatam, empty vessels that make the most sound. Einstein fetished on the violin, so did Nero, intuiting systems of pure vibration, each its bliss. Einstein's an acquired taste for being a ray of Apollo. Nero's Shiva's Tandav. The crash of a construction releases its latent energy, crashing the footstep of a dark infinity. Picasso too loved violence, or all things violin-shaped, cello, women, vases. Apollo's world, Bach's mathematics as interpreted by cold hand gold, though no lack of passion while he played, or the classical Chinese grace of naming constellations in the notes of the Guqin, traveling through a white jazzman, a romantic master of nuance and timing with classical sensibility, Bill Evans, from struck keys to the direct control of the life element Vayu, spawned a new phylum of technical objects, wind instruments, particularly trumpet and saxophone, miles and trained to stereotype the field for lack of breath. Though not a water or grain holder, this, as wind controller, gave the receptive function to the receptacle. Being open, embraced, made love to, and let go its spiritus, the urban shaman celebration of jazz, its brother, celebrated the ghetto's despair in knife and black laughter, translating bebop vitalism to an electric medium. In an ocean of chaos, he pactized with Dionysus and birthed the blues. Electric guitar, alone able to cry like the stars in the night sky, as well with the anguish of hell, open gutter of unfathomable unconscious, in the hands of Buddy Guy, Hendrix, Clapton, Jimmy Page, Duane Allman, Santana, or the incomparable John McLaughlin, release the birds of fire, or conduct a soul sacrifice for the descent of a divine polis, abstract vessel. Ghata, Panagata, gurgling with Ganga water, ringing with anklets laughter, wild bells at sundown rung by the lice-friendly rope-haired ascetics, At Dashashwamedha Ghat, where the fires of cremation, fires of death, fires of transcendence burn ceaselessly, solar fires baking, preparing clay, bone, dung to hold the sun, golden earth, forest of life, Vandana Shiva's vessel of the seedlings, Buddha's vessel of absence, vessel of the night of phosphorescent diamonds, gold, resonance of Rudravina in Shiva's city, Parvati's Yakshi body, Purnaghata. Purnaghata, upturned to become Ashoka's magic pillar capital. Water of India, cornucopia pressed, amniotic fluid nurturing the golden embryo, Hiranyagarbha, fold for the liquid element of the subjective life, for clouds and dreams. Shards we are, dreaming of wholeness, nor anything but perfection acceptable. Aporia, aura and agora, stillness and movement. Standing still, he exceeds all the gods as they run around his rim. Keats knew well those ditties of no tone, form, silence. Listen for the sound of the invisible center of the circle, the vessel, said Benjamin, thinking of Praxis.